What's up, guys? This is Seville, and today I'm going to talk about my top 5 most disappointing action figures of the year 2018. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below. And if you want to see more from me, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. Jumping right in at number 5 is technically 2 figures, but they share all the same problems. From the Power Rangers Legacy line came 2 individually packaged Zords, with the first being the Yellow Ranger's Saber-Tooth Tiger Zord, and the second being the Red Ranger's T-Rex Zord. They were marketed as being higher detailed versions of the ones that came in the 5-pack Megazord, but in the end, they were really just bigger and clunkier. They also came with some small Ranger figures, but they were totally out of scale. Plus, the Zords themselves were not in scale with the Legacy Megazord. Thus, they were no better than the Imaginext toys meant for children. Coming in at number 4 on my list is the Marvel Legends 10th Anniversary Iron Man Mark I. This is another case of figures looking great in their prototype images, but then not living up to their expectations. In general, it was still aesthetically pleasing, but it wasn't in scale. The Mark I armor should have been big and clunky compared to other Iron Man figures, but instead it ended up smaller than the Nanotech armor suit from Infinity War. Moving on to number 3, we have Kaaba from the Dragon Stars series. Overall, this line does pretty well for the $20 price point. But with this figure, that did not hold true. During my review process of this figure, it constantly came apart with even just the slightest attempt to repose it. Plus, when it was all together, it didn't balance very well either. Number 2 on this list is the Marvel Legends Captain America from Avengers Infinity War. Compared to how well Hasbro had been doing with the face scans of other MCU characters, Captain America here drew the short straw, having almost no resemblance to Chris Evans. I don't know what happened to the final product here, but I hope it never happens again. Before getting down to my number 1, I'm going to give out a dishonorable mention. This is going to go out to the entire WWE Basics line. With the waves that came out toward the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018, there was a pretty big drop in quality and articulation. With the males, I usually stuck to the Elite collection anyway, but with the women, there was a lot of times that you couldn't get an Elite, because they either never made one or they were incredibly hard to find in stores. So it was pretty common for me to buy their basic versions. But the drop in articulation pretty much nullified that for me. While they do look a little cleaner, I think the overall value has diminished. Finally, my number 1 most disappointing action figure of the year is the Power Rangers Legacy Zeo Gold Ranger. I can remember being incredibly excited when I first saw the prototype images for this figure. I wanted to finally have a good quality Gold Ranger figure in my collection. And based on the colors of the White Ranger, that seemed entirely possible. But then, this happened. This poor choice of color inspired me to repaint the figure myself, which I had never done that before. This was the first time I'd ever attempted to customize a figure. In most cases, I've always felt like that if I have to change the figure to get it right, then it's not worth buying in the first place. But since I was going to have the rest of the Zeo team in my collection anyway, I thought it was worth a shot. In fact, the Gold Ranger here is the only figure in this list still in my collection today. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this review,
get over here!
And subscribe to Civilian Collectibles.